front court talent in all kinds of areas here today in this matchup.
Baylor has won 7 straight. Iowa State has won 4 straight, and by an average of over 18 points per contest. The immediate look inside to Vonleh, and a turnover for the Bears right off the get-go.
Sometimes a little too much adrenaline, and that entry pass sailing over the top of the 6'3" Vonleh.
But clearly, as we talked about, on the right track, those post-entry passes and the emphasis in this game between Crooks and Aaron Vonleh going to come to fruition. Emily Ryan, one of the best point guards in the country, going to work in the post, kicking it out to Kelsey Jones, solidifying her spot in the starting lineup this late in the season. Ryan getting the step and finishes underneath the defense. A strong take against Jada Walker.
Now Walker, I think, got hit in the face. A little collision there. 2 distinct styles of defense. The pressure from Baylor versus sometimes a zone, a lot of zone we expect in this matchup today.
Vonleh deep post up, can't get that to fall. Already seeing a lot of action getting that ball deep inside. Crooks wants it. Now Vonleh trying to take away any angle and position she can, but Crooks gets by her, travels though. Bill Fenley, the head coach of the Iowa State Cyclones, sitting at 796 career wins. That is 3rd amongst active head coaches. One of the coaches with the most longevity in all of college basketball, still at the helm.
Now you stick around because you win, and he has won a lot of games, and it was fun to hear Nikki Collin talk about how much she respects him.
Beautiful playmaking by the Bears. Andrews setting up Vonleh, sprinting to the rim.
That's how you do it. That is what they've been trying to do, establish that pick and roll. Vonleh with the finish. She has been very active recently for the Baylor Bears.
Very tight defense here. Walker bodying up Emily Ryan. She turns it over in the passing lane. Fauntleroy will take it all the way for an easy 2.
And now look at Baylor turn up the heat defensively. Full court, they want to put pressure all over.
And Coach Fenley says, we are ready for this. We know what to expect. Heck, they started pressing us as soon as we walked off the plane. Addie Brown dials up a 3, too strong that time. The great box out by Sarah Andrews, but a foul is going to go on her. Couldn't quite hold off Jones. On the other sideline is Nikki Collin in her 4th season. Went to the Sweet 16 last year. Spent 3 years before this with the Atlanta Dream of the WNBA. She was the 2018 WNBA Coach of the Year, trying to continue this immense legacy of Baylor women's basketball under her tutelage.
Well, and we are in a fantastic new facility.
Wild shot! Are you kidding? Ariana Jackson bringing some magic on that take, plus the foul.
Well, I think it's going to be waved off because it hit the shot clock, but A for effort. The ball goes out of the frame, hits the shot clock, and then into the bucket. That's good living there for that one to drop through.
I mean, we all agree that should count, right?
I mean, that shot is a winner in horse all day long.
Jackson at the line to shoot 2, a Des Moines native. Both her parents, her brother as well, graduating from Iowa State. Coach Fenley says she has an extra heartbeat when she plays because of how much she loves the Cyclones. And one of their young leaders on this very young team compared to squads like Baylor and K-State, TCU as well. Here they turn it over. Brown will push it up the floor.
Nice job by Brown reading the passing lanes in that crowded paint area.
Crooks, couple strong dribbles. She stopped. Vonleh made that tough inside.
Now Vonleh is big and strong and also athletic. She can really move. Not very many players physically match up with Crooks.
She tries to barrel down against Crooks, and a foul is called. Blow for blow between these two deep in the paint.
Well, and you really don't want to have Audie Crooks get into foul trouble. If you're a fan watching this game, she is such a huge part of Iowa State. 22 points per game. She's tied for the lead in rebounds for Iowa State. And that early quick personal, trying to stay pace with Vonleh. Now she's going to take some aggressiveness away on both ends of the floor for Crooks.
And that's playing into the hands of Coach Collin. She was telling us today that the best goal you have against someone as dominant as Crooks is to try and neutralize her. Can we make her work, make it tough, getting into foul trouble, all part of that list. The three was tipped by Jones, excellently defended. Jackson will now push it over. Crooks working from the high post. Quick closeout on Brown. It goes inside to Crooks. We are seeing a heavy dosage of post-entry passes, and these two making the stops. Vonleh running the floor, making Crooks work. The up and under is thwarted. She travels. You see Crooks fired up about that, knowing they're in a head-to-head clash.
I love this matchup so much, and Audie Crooks is going to get a breather. It was going to be, there's a lot of contact, so for Crooks, that whistle comes, and you're like putting your head on a swivel. Is that a foul? Is that a foul? No, it was a travel, so Crooks able to wall up and not pick up her second personal.
Lisa Williams checking in, Vonleh staying into the game. On top of the screen, Brown, hard to find a great look for her so far. Sophomore sensation for this team, gets it right back and has the mismatch, trying to take advantage of it. Backing down against Walker, the turnaround just spins out and Vonleh secures it.
You just feel pressure from Baylor all over.
Walker, circus shot doesn't fall. She tries to push the pace.
She is a lefty, getting to her strong hand, but did not get on balance.
Williams one-on-one against Vonleh. She's gonna try and go to work in the paint now. Backdoor cut, Jackson read it, can't convert.
Did everything perfectly, felt the pressure, the denial, went back door open. That one's slipping out.
The three goes, Fauntleroy making her presence known without their leading scorer on the floor.
Well, she loves that three-point shot, even though she's got that length. Fauntleroy, the last 8 games, an 8-game Baylor win streak, and Fauntleroy has been crucial, over 13 points per game.
Williams sneaks underneath the defense, showing off her speed to the rim.
And that is how you beat the pressure. The back door will be open.
Walker now slowing things down. Baylor leading 8-6 here in the early goings at Foster Pavilion. Slicing along the baseline is Felder. How did she get that pass out? The three does not fall for Vonleh. 2 for 11 this season.
Well, this is how you dial it up. Fauntleroy, the 4, bringing some rain down. And Baylor ahead by 2. To finish their season, you mentioned the ranked opponents coming up, but this team is very balanced. They're good inside, outside. They also have 3-point shooting and 5 different players in double figures. They're balanced.
Just one of 3 teams in the country to have 5 in double figures. Meanwhile, Addie Brown, brilliant playmaking, setting up Williams for 2.
She is the definition of a point forward. 5 assists per game at the 4 spot, and she also rebounds at over 7.5 per game. She does everything on the basketball floor.
Sarah Andrews will whip it down deep into the corner, trying to thread the needle. That is poked away. And it will stay here.
Drawing 2 defenders, somebody is open, and Addie Brown finding the open target, Williams. That is a gift. Williams says thank you very much, and very wisely points to her passer and says thank you.
Twice this season, Elise, talking about her versatility. She's been within just a couple notches of a triple-double, including against Kansas. 1 rebound away. Here's Andrews with the mid-range, skying for that rebound, keeping it alive here for the Bears. Wyatt to Jennings for 3. She's got it.
The lefty getting her feet set, and when we talk about balance, now Jennings can come on and be a scoring threat as well for the Bears.
Ellie Tanky looking inside to Crooks. She wants it. Falling away, the touch, magnificent, but can't get it to fall.
That's a good shot. She's got such soft hands for a post.
Matharu splitting through the defense. She is blocked, but a fortuitous play where it lands. And the 2 up and in by Kyla Abraham.
Well, the key was the defense had to shift on the downhill drive, and that left the weak side rebound open.
14 offensive rebounds per game for Baylor, one of the top in the country. Any way you look at the rebounding percentage total, it is one of the best in the entire nation. Good spurt there for Abraham, getting some early minutes here with Baylor without their top scorer and rebounder. Dariana Littlepage-Buggs averaging a double-double this year, out with a knee injury for the second consecutive game.
Yeah, really unfortunate. The Big 12 rebounding leader, over 10 per game, but cannot go for the Bears.
Matharu turning on the Jets to the rim. It's an offensive foul. Tanky stepping in.
That time it is who initiates the contact. Yes, the defense may have still been moving, but that was an offensive foul.
Coach Collin telling us that Littlepage-Buggs is the ultimate hype woman as well, but you're talking about taking a player off the floor who her head coach calls her security blanket. You always know what you're going to expect from her. She's just programmed to have the highest motor you might find.
Yeah, the energy level for her is off the charts. As we mentioned, a tremendous rebounder, but also 14 points per game. It's a massive loss without her in the lineup.
Her and Brown, top 10 on the Katrina McLean list, making the stop there. Fauntleroy using her physicality.
And I love that matchup. We talked about the center matchup between the two bigs in Crooks and Vonleh, but I love this the big forward matchup. And we'll see it right here.
Fauntleroy right next to her, chest to chest. That mid-range won't fall. And taken by Vonleh.
Iowa State shooting just 27% to start.
Walker will drive, pull up, beautifully done.
Yeah, that's her spot. Her mid-range for the lefty is a strong part of her game.
Coming off a 17-point game, 6 assists in their win against Colorado. Fauntleroy again controlling the glass. That is the MO for the Baylor Bears this season.
And they are dominating on the glass right now. 12-5 in favor of Baylor.
Plus 10 this season, and rebounding margin no different here as Fauntleroy tracks it down. 10 to shoot now for the Bears in the hands of Matharu. Trying to get herself free against Tanky, sets her up, dropping it off to Fauntleroy. 3 to shoot now. It is Jennings who will have to loft it up. The left hand doesn't go, and secured by Brown.
That was one of the better defensive possessions of the game for the Cyclones.
Jones left wide open, splashes it home. A dangerous shooter to give that much time and space.
Well, she's feeling good. 3 for 4 in the last game versus Houston. 13 points. Of course, y'all know that name. Jones spelled funny, but so effective. Her older sister, Ashley, the Big 12 Player of the Year with Iowa State years ago.
Matharu holding herself in the air, floating, but can't get it to fall, and now Jackson will push. Coach Fenley says of Jones, she's earned the everyday shortstop position now. He's a big baseball guy. That says a lot about how hard she's worked. Second chance opportunity here for the Cyclones. Jackson finding space, denied. Jennings coming in for the swats, and it's a jump ball possession arrow right here.
Well, this is how you draw it up. Push pace, the power forward, getting the ball up to the shooter. Feet set for Kelsey Jones, the sophomore, and she bangs it home. She has made 32 threes this season, and this block, coming out of nowhere from the weak side. Well done, reading that out, and Jennings getting all ball on the rotation.
48.8 seconds remaining. Iowa State basketball with the fresh shot clock. Just out of the reach of Jennings. She's bringing some intensity on the defensive end. Here guarding Harris. That pass going awry. It's a turnover. Baylor basketball.
And again, just due to the pressure, you cannot run an offense when Baylor gets in and denies the wing. You want to enter it just to the wing. And instead, the turnover out of bounds on the back door.
Clearly, Coach Fenley, known as one of the best X's and O's coaches, analytically inclined, seeing a lot of opportunity with the backdoor cut.
Well, and it's open, and it has been. It's just a matter of hitting it in stride. And what Baylor does is they dictate to you on defense what you're going to do on offense. It's opposite of what you think. The offense, you usually feel they're the ones that have the defense on their heel, but that amount of pressure they are forcing Iowa State to go to their secondary options on offense.
Sarah Andrews, 5th-year player, dropping it off to Vonleh. They'll stay here with 15 on the shot clock. Andrews knows Colin inside and out, someone who she says doesn't just know what to run, but why we run it, trusted as the inbounder here late in the first quarter. Walker kicks it out. Jennings might have had a second, instead puts it on the deck. It's good, but it'll be waved off. An offensive foul going on the Bears.
They called a moving screen. The fans in here do not like it. But the matchup we expected here in the first quarter, Audie Crooks, who averages 22 points per game, is scoreless here with just 1 possession to go.
10 seconds to shoot for Emily Ryan, guarded by Walker. Finds another defender, and Andrews, ball still in her hands, backing down the grad student. Can't kiss it off glass. The second try by Reagan Wilson does not go, and it's a 4-point game as we head to the second quarter. A lot of pressure inside the fifth.
Is what is going to have to step up here, but the defense for Iowa State, they only put up 11 points, but their defense is holding them in this game.
Vonleh forces it up against Crooks. She stood her ground.
And again, 1 personal for Audie Crooks. A lot of contact between these 2 power post players. Oh, and that's going to be the second foul on Crooks. Hate when a post player picks up that foul on the offensive end of the floor, the moving screen from Crooks. And so she's going to be in foul trouble now, and it'll be curious how long she will have to take a seat here with 2 fouls at the very beginning of the second quarter.
7 minutes on the floor so far for Crooks. Here is Andrews working through a pick and roll. Walker patiently into the paint, is going to retreat. Getting downhill in a hurry is Felder in a flash to the rim, unstopped.
Well, she got the starting nod today, but that is why she has earned that spot. She comes off the bench with such energy and spark, got to the rim in a hurry.
A sixth player of the year contender in the Big 12 Conference, the only one coming off the bench, averaging double figures per game and stepping up when her team needs her without Dariana Littlepage-Buggs.
This is a straight line drive from the left to the right side of the hoop and just avoiding that weak side block attempt, flying through the air. Really pretty take.
Sophomore Jackson orchestrating this offense in the passing lane is Andrews. She'll pick it up and stuffed. Kelsey Jones chases her down.
I mean, if you want to make sure you fire your team up, how about get back defensively? The turnover, but what a hustle play from Jones. Gets to the spot that she knows Andrews wants to get to, that right side block, and erases that attempt.
Andrews had this step there, and somehow Jones able to recover and keep pace. That's something Coach Fennelly has talked about. You can always depend on her efforts. Baylor basketball underneath their own rim.
Is scoreless so far in this game. The sharpshooter.
Fauntleroy, the skip pass, Felder, the fake. The 3 won't go. Vonleh keeping it alive. This team always feasting on second chance opportunities, leading the Big 12.
And it is deflating when you get a stop, but
Vonleh goes to work.
And with no Audie Crooks on the floor with the 2 personals, Aaronette Vonleh at 6'3" is by far the strongest and biggest player on the floor.
Shoots just south of 60% from the floor this season. Williams on the second attempt is fouled in the air.
Down low, getting the seal, and then going to work. A patient possession for Vonleh. Little jump hook over her left shoulder. And that's about as automatic as you get when you catch it and get all the way to the restricted area.
Her teammate Bella Fauntleroy says this is her first year. You're still learning, trying to grow and develop those relationships with your teammates, but right now the difference is she is demanding the ball, something Coach Collin is really enjoying seeing at this point in the season.
Well, she's a tremendous athlete. Her older brother, Noah Vonleh, in the NBA for years. And so she's got just tremendous potential and upside due to her athleticism.
Rebound taken by Emily Ryan, looking to get spark from her offensively too. Top 10 all-time career assists defined as a playmaker. Here she tries to back down Fauntleroy. It is Brown for three, and Fauntleroy rips that out of the air.
And a good closeout by Sarah Andrews. Didn't foul, but definitely flashed in front of Brown's vision.
Fauntleroy, a freight train, is fouled. It's going to be an offensive foul instead.
And I think we got a warning on the frustration here, but this to me is a block. I don't think the position was set, and you have to give room for the defender, or excuse me, for the offensive player. I think the contact was initiated there by the defender, so I understand why Fauntleroy is frustrated with that call.
Fauntleroy picking up her second personal foul. She's the only Bear with 2 to her name so far.
And I think that's part of the frustration, is she knows with that call against her, she's got 2, and she's gonna have to take a seat on the bench.
Kyla Abraham coming back in. Seen without Dariana Littlepage Bugs having to go deep into their bench. Ryan turns it over. Jennings comes up with the loose ball. And Andrews will engineer this offense, slicing her way through the defense, and she'll be shooting 2.
Boy, she kept that dribble about 6 inches off the floor. Look how low this dribble is. Right here, this crossover. No chance at picking that from Andrews, and then she draws the contact ahead to the line, looking for her first points of the ball game here in the second quarter.
That's the first foul on Kelsey Jones, but Andrews struggled from the free throw line this season, 52% on 48 attempts.
And it's just odd because it's such a pretty shot coming off her hand. Tremendous three-point shooter. Almost 37% from deep, but those free throws under the 60% mark for the first time in her career.
She's hit over 300 threes in her career. She knows how to stroke it, and that time does. Here's the full court pressure from Baylor. Jackson needing some help. Ryan now in trouble along the sideline, and they need some urgency right now. Up ahead to Jones. She just reels it in.
And already 10 seconds, make it 12 and counting off that shot clock.
Exactly how the Bears want to execute things with their kind of pressure. Brown one-on-one, can't be stopped.
The one thing I love about Brown is her confidence. That shot goes in, she'll let you hear about it. She's just got some moxie for Iowa State.
She's 19 years old, someone who's already making a name for herself, not just in the Big 12, but in the nation. Felder, the hesitation, now 10 to shoot. Jennings can't get it to fall. Good effort by Abraham. And it will be Cyclone basketball.
Addie Brown putting her hands up like she was getting the stick up, making sure the refs know she doesn't hold it. This is on the other end, and this is just patient, gorgeous basketball. It's a mouse in the house. She had the size advantage, and what I liked is she didn't fade away, and she didn't settle for a jumper. She went right at the defense and scored over the top.
She wants this post up yet again against Jennings, trying to put the arm bar right into her back, but she makes the play anyway. Count it!
I love that play so much from Addie Brown. She's going one-on-one, reading the defense. Where is the double team coming from? And the late double, and she finds the open player. And again, underneath, Elisa Williams saying, thank you very much. But that's Addie Brown's skill set. At 6'2", she can pass it like a point guard, but she's got that size and strength to back you down.
She is a unique talent. You see it on display here. Great job by Williams, just lurking, ready for that pass. She completes the three-point play for this Iowa State team, trying to make up for having Audie Crooks on the bench with 2 personal fouls. She's only played 7 minutes in this game so far. That poked away. Iowa State forces a turnover. Perfect angle there by Williams.
And I think Iowa State should be thrilled right now. On the road, they're only down 4 with Audie Crooks yet to score a point.
And Ryan coughs it up, then fouls. They go back to Baylor.
And the turnovers right now really forcing the pressure on Emily Ryan, who is so steady. The 5th-year senior guard is yet to have an assist. 3 turnovers as this Baylor pressure has just blanketed the senior guard.
Felder wants it wide open. She's got it.
Baylor has hit double-digit threes 4 games in a row, and that is why they are surging at the right time. 8 wins in a row heading into this matchup.
That's exactly what Colin said about her squad. We're just shooting the ball at a really high rate, sharing it as well. Jones in trouble. Crooks has checked back into the game. It's a 3-second violation. Iowa State out of sorts.
Well, I think for Audie Crooks, she's trying to get position in the lane where she can absolutely dominate. But her guards have to look for her, but it's tough with the pressure in your face. You're so worried about not turning it over, you have a hard time locating the proper passing angle.
Past the midway point of the second quarter, Felder's been feeling it, trying to call her own number. Back to back for the potential 6th player of the year in the Big 12, and she is charged up.
Well, how much does the long ball change things? Surging to the biggest lead of the game after the deep shots going down.
Addie Brown contorts herself to the rim, earning herself a trip to the free throw line. 27-17 is Baylor's lead at home.
Well, Yaya Felder, yeah, let's get it. Her second made 3 and given the Baylor Bears a 10-point lead.
% shooting, forcing 8 turnovers as well.
Well, this is just what Baylor does. Look, they average 80 points a game, but they're balanced. They limit opponents to 59 points per game and only 28% from 3. Close enough to touch, flying in the passing lanes, not allowing Audie Crooks to get deep position and seal. Still, Audie Crooks scoreless, 0 for 4 from the floor, and it's not by accident. These defensive numbers, 3rd in the Big 12 in blocks, opponent 3-point percentage, and they just wear you down with that pressure.
Plus their depth, their balance, especially in a game like this, seeing how they're able to put multiple players off the bench who can make an impact in this system. Dariana Littlepage-Buggs out for the 2nd consecutive game with a knee injury. Their leading scorer and leading rebounder, but Baylor not missing a beat so far.
Well, that depth is so huge. It's this time of the year, a lot of people in walking boots and dealing with nagging injuries. Your body is taking a beating, and it is attrition is that time of year. You've got to get your teams healthy, and not everybody will be 100% heading into this stretch and into the postseason.
Felder back-to-back 3, showing she can put it on the deck as well with the speed to the cup.
What a game so far by Yaya Felder. Start and getting 10 points in the first half, nearly perfect, 4 for 5.
She's the leading scorer in this game as well. Fired up to be back in the starting lineup for the 3rd time this season. It's her 2nd year at Baylor, relishing her role off the bench, but bringing the energy today.
And also getting that deflection out of bounds. This is, I'm faster and I'm going to my spot. Just try to catch me if you can. And Felder getting all the way to the rim.
Crooks, 2 personal fouls. You mentioned scoreless, 0 for 4. It's going to bring it out to the perimeter, handing it off to Brown. 5 to shoot now. The deeper post-up comes, some momentum to the rim, and she's able to finally finish with the angle.
A good patience, getting her on the block. It's only a matter of time before a player of the caliber of Audie Crooks gets on the board. And now you wonder, down by 8 right in this game.
Vonleh stopping on a dime, wants it back. She gets it along the baseline this time, but an offensive foul is going to go on Vonleh, and Crooks looks happy with that.
I love the emotion and passion that Audie Crooks plays with. Every defense designed to try to slow her down, and she picked up a couple of early personals. That time she takes the hook on the other end. Vonleh gets called for it, and that's a tough position. She's got a matchup against an explosive player like Vonleh with 2 fouls. And she got the best of that possession.
Brown isolated, looking for Crooks as it one-on-one against Abraham this time. Surrounded, that was poked away. Abraham was able to get a piece. Igniting Baylor on the other side. Matharo will whip it into the post. And a traveling violation on Abraham, giving it back to the Cyclones.
Abraham making a smart decision. They're trying to go at Audie Crooks, who has that 2 personals, but she has kept her hands back, sliding her feet, and forced a couple of turnovers. Vonleh also with the 2 personals now, picking up that last hook on the previous possession. And so Baylor will be without their center for a while.
4 Bears with 2 personals apiece. Jennings, Vonleh, Fauntleroy, and Andrews as well. With Baylor leading 29-21. As we're gonna have a second look at this most recent play.
Well, right now when you look at this matchup, there's some doubt with Baylor. Even though they're favored in this matchup and they've won 8 in a row, they've lost to Iowa State 4 times in a row.
Our refereeing crew, Michael McConnell, Felicia Grinter, Brian Garland.
Our officials doing a nice job coming over to tell us what's going on, the travel, but afterwards the contact on the play. So they're gonna go over to the monitor to see if there was anything extracurricular with this contact.
Could be upgraded, potentially. They're going to be looking at if there was any excessive contact for potentially an intentional foul.
Let's see, it was ruled steps. Yeah, I didn't even see incidental contact, to be honest, so just making sure everything is all good, but I think that's a chance for everybody to just take a breath, and it's a timeout generated by the officials rather than by a team.
Yeah, why not get a couple extra breaths in, but there wasn't even really any chippiness on that play, Elise. So we play on here. It's Iowa State basketball, under 3 minutes to play here before halftime. Iowa State trying to play out of a 10-point deficit as Crooks will now travel, giving it back to the Bears.
Yeah, the look of disbelief for Audie Crooks. Her season low this year, just 11 points against Arizona, and I mean, she can go off any moment.
She scored in double figures 60 straight games in her career. That excludes just her debut in her college career. After that ball goes out of bounds. With Baylor leading 29-21, but we keep talking about a rough start for Crooks. 2 personal fouls, 4 turnovers, and 1 for 6 from the field. She's looking for the lob inside right now against Abraham. Jones will take it and drive, met by a brick wall of Aaliyah Matharo.
And again, the defense dictating what you want to do. Jones wanted to get the ball into Crooks. Instead, the pressure forces her to put it on the deck and just can't get to the spot she wants.
Felder can't go under that screen, was looking for her next 3 after hitting back-to-back earlier in this second quarter. Matharo thinking about it. Deep in the corner, it is Walker who drains it this time. 5 threes for the Bears in the first half.
Right on pace for that double-digit mark. Baylor explosive from the 3-point line. That is strength versus strength with Iowa State so good defensively, but Baylor has had the better of that part of the matchup.
Iowa State turns it over. They've already surrendered 16 points off turnovers, a chance to add more here.
Well, the ball rotates, find the open player. Unselfish basketball by Baylor. And this crowd inside of Foster loving it here on Pink Day.
Under 1:30 on the clock. Felder showcased her speed in this one. Matharo is fouled as she tried to drive to the basket. Largest lead of the game now for Baylor. Able to execute what they aim to in this one. Meanwhile, Kelsey Jones will pick up her second. They're trying to take her off the bounce.
Well, Baylor can get into the lane. They are explosive offensively, but they are a balanced team. They can fill it up from three at a high clip, and so they put a tremendous amount of pressure on each individual defender.
Matharu cleans up on the second. Then bring their full court pressure. Ryan, their great point guard, 2 points, 3 turnovers today, has it against Walker. Unrelenting pressure, gets off the three that time, skying forward is Abraham. Felder bouncing into the front court, guarded by Brown. It's Matharu who wants it back, too strong. And the offensive rebounding continues, even without Little Page Bugs. That is their identity, but they're gonna give it back to Iowa State.
Hustling, fighting for position underneath.
Lisa Williams has played great minutes in this first half. Brown directing traffic to Tanky, no good from three. Tracked down by Brown. She's wide open, short corner. And a foul call going for that loose ball with 28.3 seconds left before halftime.
It's just felt like everything has been difficult on offense for Iowa State, and Baylor's defense is dictating things. Even on that possession, a pretty good look from Brown. Didn't knock down the baseline jumper, and they'll head to the foul line for a couple of freebies. But the story of this first half has been the defense of the Baylor Bears.
Wyatt Jennings picking up her third personal. She'll check out. So Bella Fauntleroy, who has 2, checking back in. Riley Tanky at the free throw line. That's 1 for 2 this season.
Good offense to defense sub here. Even though Fauntleroy has 2 personals, there's one last possession, at least in this game. The shot clock dead, the game clock at 28. So Fauntleroy, wouldn't be surprised if you see them try to tee something up.
Shot clock is off. 28.3 seconds to go for the Bears, slowing things down in the hands of Walker. Zone defense here for the Cyclones on this final possession. Looked to be it from the start. It's going to be a foul called on that pick and roll against the Bears.
So turnover will give the ball back here, and a chance with plenty of time to get a good look and to get this lead back to single digits for the visiting Cyclones.
Tanky will be taking it out. A couple substitutions for the Bears. Matharu and Jennings checking in for Fauntleroy and Andrews. Ryan will take it, 5 seconds left. Gets it over half court, 3 seconds on the clock. Swarm, she won't get a shot off in time. She travels regardless. And at the half, a 10-point lead for Baylor, as you said, Elise, dictating throughout this first half.
And impressive, even that last possession, getting the more involved. Iowa State went over 3.5 minutes to end that second quarter without a point.
D post up inside, Vonleh not gonna stop her at that range.
Now both post players, the starting centers, with 2 fouls apiece. Vonleh going strong to the bucket.
7 points, 5 rebounds for Vonleh. He's really turning it on this second half of the season as that ball is kicked. It'll stay here.
Well, and I think even that possession for Audie Crooks, frustrating. She had the position and she had Vonleh on her back, but the quick reaction from Andrews and the kick breaks up the opportunity.
Coach Fenley telling us they work, the very first thing they do in practice is post-entry passes. It's not often you see those kind of potential turnovers. Sierra's Jones slicing to the rim.
Well, that time they took Audie Crooks up outside of the box area, and that gave the driving lane to Ryan, and she needed to start the half with a drive like that. Well done by the senior point guard.
Walker misfires from 3. Felder, look at that battle to keep it alive for another possession. Sarah Andrews looking quiet today offensively as well, feeding it into the post. Vonleh, the touch with the left.
using her quickness, going to her left. That is a move that early in her career, started at Arizona, spent time at Colorado. I don't think she makes that consistently with that left-hand hook. Now as a senior, she can put it in.
Trying to front Crooks now. Jackson stopped along the baseline, switching directions. Now they get the switch. Crooks calling for it, collapsed upon, and a turnover. A squandered opportunity for this Iowa State offense that's shooting 29% from the field.
The Bears just flying around on defense, causing problems. This is Vonleh. Look at her spin around and avoid the two hands up from Crooks, playing with two personals. Can't go for the block shot. They need her on the floor, and Vonleh patient to put it in.
You've seen a heavy dose of both of those. Looks in the post as Walker can't convert on her drive. Now Brown in control. Emily Ryan giving a look inside, decides against it this time. Jackson working her way through the defense. She stopped. Baylor has been smothering in the half court. Crooks spinning along the baseline. The fade, yes, beautifully done by Crooks.
That is just a gorgeous move. The footwork to avoid the defender. She claps her hands together. She wanted that one to go.
Coach Collin commending Crooks to us, talking about how she's added to her game different moves over a different shoulder. That fadeaway has been very tough to contend with for opponents. Bella Fauntleroy, the spin move and extension at the rim.
Well, she can fill it up from deep that time, showing off her athleticism and the creativity. Love that take, getting under the defense at the rim.
They needed her today with Little Paige Buggs on the bench, her second straight game with a knee injury. She's day to day. Meanwhile, Ryan penetrates the defense for two.
Well, and Emily Ryan getting hounded in the first half, this time just going right back at the defense, fighting that pressure with the aggressiveness.
Vonleh faces up, gives it up to Walker, has the speed advantage. Makes Felder go get it. Now 8 to shoot. Andrews, the hesitation, drops it off, intercepted by Jackson. Looking around for teammates, she'll call her own number. Not that time, but Jones right there for the offensive rebound. And a foul is called.
Audie Crooks getting stood up, very athletic defender in Vonleh, but the soft touch, gorgeous touch by Crooks on the other end. The creativity from Fauntleroy, just spinning away and maintaining composure, and same for Emily Ryan. It's Andrews trying to pressure and get under the skin, and Ryan going right at the rim.
Harris turns it over, igniting the fast break numbers. Felder tried to go behind the back. Ball up for grabs, floating along the sideline. It's Jones who comes up with the loose ball. Ryan whipping a pass inside Vonleh at the last second with the angle to poke it free.
And that is a bucket against most teams, and it has been this season. Ryan, a tremendous passing point guard, the all-time leader in the history of Iowa State, saw Crooks, and at the very last moment, the denial by Vonleh. She's quick enough to get off the strength and power on the block and the seal of Crooks.
Vonleh is doing tremendously in this game. Remember Elise, when they lost to UCLA, she fouled out in 10 minutes against Lauren Betts. So coming back against one of the best post players in the nation, you can see those lessons learned playing dividends.
You don't often have true center-to-center matchups where you've got strength on strength. That is the differentiation in college basketball is 6'3", 6'4", 6'7", they're not on every team. And so you have to have somebody athletically enough and big enough that can match up, and today we are been treated to a center matchup.
Our refereeing crew working out some clock issues. Here in the building is reading 6 minutes and 4 seconds, 23 seconds on the shot clock.
And our official coming over to tell us they're verifying the score, and I was wondering, the scoreboard here in the arena said 41 points for quite some time. Our stat broadcast inside said 39, so there's a bucket difference between that.
So some confusion on the score, something we want to make sure that we have right here in this Big 12 women's basketball battle. Baylor has won 7 straight games. If they win out, they will secure their first Big 12 championship since 2021-2022 season. Iowa State's looking for its first ranked victory of the year. They need a marquee win like this to fortify their NCAA tournament resume. Make sure that we're all on the same page here on the building stats, the teams as well.
Well, and you think a bucket matters in this matchup, because even though it's a 12-point lead right now for Baylor, these two teams have gone to overtime, and everything has been down to the wire between these two recently in this matchup.
Well, Baylor has a couple ranked wins this season. You see they're 2-4 in Quad 1 women's basketball, transitioning this season to be in alignment with the men when it comes to how this is all sorted out. That resume, our Autumn Johnson, bracketologist for Fox, has them slated as a 5 seed right now, but still damage that they can do down the road. The Big 12 tournament still coming up as well. Another face-off with TCU, who's a top 10 team as well.
Well, and that 5 seed, it is crucial to push up to the 4 seed, because in women's college basketball, if you're a 4 seed or higher, you get to host the first 2 rounds on your home floor. And this is a tremendous new facility here, Foster, with the fan support. That makes a huge difference in the postseason.
The Cyclones 0-8 versus Quad 1 teams. Johnson has them as an 11 seed, so that puts them on somewhat shaky ground, but they would absolutely relish having a win like this today. Again, they also, of course, have the Big 12 tournament ahead. Solid wins under their belt. In fact, all their losses by 1 have come against teams who either were ranked at the time or have been ranked.
A lot of really quality opponents. Their strength of schedule has been, I don't know how it's only 43. They've played South Carolina, they've played Connecticut, they've played all these ranked teams in and out of conference.
They would love to have one here on the road against Baylor, getting a Quad 1 victory, the first for them this season.
Well, the officials coming over and checking out the book, and they have rectified the score. They missed a bucket, so it is 39-29 here in the third quarter.
All right, what you're seeing on your screen is correct. We're ready to play on. A little extra breather for both of these teams too. And it's Iowa State basketball. Emily Ryan controlling this offense. One of the best point guards in the country, barreling to the rim, and Vonleh says no.
She's done such a nice job of defending without fouling. Ryan has had 2 straight line drives, gotten to the bucket. That time Vonleh waiting for her.
Ryan from the free throw line being guarded by Andrews, has the size advantage, uses that pivot. What a nifty move by the 5th year.
Well, and especially after you just got rejected, just going right back at the defense, not worrying about what's behind you, looking at the next play.
So steady, epitomizes being a point guard and selfless one at that. Here is Vonleh sweeping across the lane, showing her confidence on offense and defense.
Well, and even though she is so powerful, she's got that quickness to go with it and putting it on display for that score.
Still a 10-point lead for the Bears, who have carried a double-digit lead for much of this game. Brown, they'll want to get going in this one. Just 1 for 6 shooting, 4 points. She's fouled by Felder. That's going to be number 3 on Felder. The second Bear with 3 personals.
Well, and she was so big in the first half. Made 4 buckets, 2 of them from deep, and she led the Bears in scoring, already in double figures. She's going to have to take a rest because of the foul trouble.
Leah Matharu checking in for the Bears. This team deep. Go to Brown, being guarded by Fauntleroy. You see the length she has against Brown, who's 6'2" herself. 7 to shoot for Ryan. Ball comes loose, diving for, look at the effort here late in February. Possession arrow keeping it right here.
how many bodies were on the ground going after that loose ball.
41-31, the lead by Baylor as we step aside here at Waco.
Also taking away the three-point game. Iowa State averages 8 made threes a game. They're at 1.
Emily Ryan picks up the foul. Attempted steal there by Fauntleroy, who's been so incredibly active coming into today at the power forward position for Ariana Littlepage Bucks.
Fauntleroy saddled with a little foul trouble in the first half, using that length to get into the passing lane. That has been a crucial element to slowing down Iowa State today. They have extended their pressure and not allowed the passing. Iowa State is such a good passing basketball team. They just have taken that element.
Emily Ryan, 2 fouls as well. It's been a tough go against the high pressure of the Bears. Andrews off the dribble, right to the rim.
She has been quiet today. She can affect the game in a lot of ways. Just her 4th point and 1st bucket.
Look at Fauntleroy showing off the athleticism plus the assist from the floor. The Bears fired up here at Foster Pavilion, opening up their largest lead of the game.
The defense has brought the pressure. Look at the athleticism, doesn't travel, and the assist.
Sorry, bud.
2022 is something they are eyeing. Coach Collins says we've been talking about it since summer. As Brown turns it over, that is 15 on the Cyclones, and they have just felt out of sorts for much of this game.
Baylor has been able to speed up Iowa State. That time Brown not able to put the ball on the deck before she took off, and so she's called for the travel. Those Big 12 standings, how about the fact that Baylor goes to Kansas State and then comes home for TCU. Those 3 teams all playing against each other coming up.
Great finish expected in the Big 12. Walker misfires, kept alive by Vonleh, who's been outstanding today. Sarah Andrews surrounded by great jerseys. Now it's Walker putting the moves on Brown. She'll secure the board. Iowa State still shooting 33% from the field. Jones trying to chip into that. It's kept alive by Kelsey Jones. Or rather, Tanky. Out of the hands of Jones, Fauntleroy clear the runway for the easy 2.
And these points off turnovers continue to stack up in the favor of Baylor. Coach Finley for Iowa State saying he thinks they're a top 16 team, and they're playing like it today.
3-point play opportunity for Brown. Does not look happy with the results right now, trying to find that fire.
And just the pass up through the fingertips of Crooks, and this leads to the easiest 2 of the game. But it's that constant pressure. It wears on you.
Needs to bring up a great point. Points off turnovers, 24-8 in favor of the Bears, but Iowa State has only 2 more turnovers. It's just the Bears really capitalizing on those opportunities, the extra ones they've been gifted.
They have been able to get off to the races. You mentioned Fauntleroy ready for takeoff. They've had quite a few opportunities that have been high percentage. And Coach Finley said we can't be looking at the back of their jerseys, and they've had to do that too many times so far. Yaya Felder goes behind the back. She's stuck now.
Matharu, the offensive foul. Ariana Jackson does the little things, picking up the offensive foul there. That'll be the 2nd on Matharu.
So the Cyclones defense forcing the turnover, the foul. They've got to start stacking up kills, 3 stops in a row to get back in this game.
Iowa State, they're one of the most efficient offenses in the country in Big Ten play, leading in field goal percentage, 3rd in 3-point percentage. They can score the basketball, but needing Crooks to do that, at least earning herself a trip to the free throw line.
And I love the aggressive take from Audie Crooks, going right at the defense. She did not wait. It wasn't a patient move. It was an aggressive raw contact. Remember, she's been in double figures 60 games in a row. She's averaging 22, and Crooks just 4 points so far.
Aaron Vonleh checking out of the game with her third personal foul. Crooks nets the first. Extended conversation happening at midcourt as well with Brown and Jackson. A lot for the Cyclones to try and sort out to attempt to make a comeback. They've been facing a double-digit deficit for the majority of this game. It was a 4-point hole after the first quarter, but has gotten away from them since.
And their defense has been good. It's the points off turnovers, and they give it away, and their defense is not set that they've had the issues.
Harris had her hands on Matharu. Foul called. That's going to be her first.
Well, and Harris is going to have to step up. She has yet to have a bucket. She's yet to attempt a shot. Just 8 minutes played in this game, but she is an absolute sniper from deep, and she can put points on the board in the hurry. If they're going to crawl in this game, they're going to have to get production 3 points at a time.
49% on over 100 attempts. First line on her scouting report. Squaring and draining the three is Fauntleroy, and what a game when her team needed her shorthanded today.
The 7th made three of the game for Baylor, just 1 for Iowa State.
She's the third Bear to double figures. Brown fighting for it against Fauntleroy. That has been a fun matchup to watch. Crooks from the free throw line, hand in her face.
Showing off her range. She's not just back to the bucket. She has got that soft, floating jumper.
Under 1:30 to play here at Foster Pavilion. Matharu sizing up this defense. Walker says, I'll put up this three. She's got it. 8 threes on 50% shooting for Baylor.
They have been absolutely dialed in from deep. This is getting close to another game with double-digit made threes. They've had 4 in a row.
Abraham, what a denial. Knew exactly what was coming that deep to the rim. And these Baylor post players, without Dariana Littlepage Buggs, have stepped up in multiple ways.
Now you wondered how it would affect Baylor without the leading rebounder in the Big 12 able to go. A double-double machine in Buggs. She can't go, but Baylor proving that they are more. There she is on the bench. She's having a good time. She's hanging out with the fans.
She's got a pool noodle with her, too.
Her vibe and energy is just outstanding.
You know, she's enjoying this even though she can't be on the floor as Felder floats to the rim. And she'll be shooting, too.
Felder, what a game that she has had. With Buggs being forced to watch day-to-day with a knee injury, she has stepped up and provided that energy. It's not just the production, it's the energy that you need.
Only player in the Big 12 to average double-figure points off the bench, but you can see her confidence. She's a 4th-year player, 2nd year in a Baylor uniform. She's been making the right decisions and right reads out there as well.
It's good. It's a different mentality. When you come off the bench and the energy, you have to be ready to go immediately. But you have a chance to see the game unfold. When you're moved into the starting lineup, it's a different role. She's handled it very well.
Felder checking out. She's got 12 points on 4 of 6 shooting. Final minutes of the 3rd quarter in Iowa State basketball. They've trailed by as many as 18 points right here at this stage. Tanky loses her footing and picked up by the Bears. More opportunity for points off turnovers. And they're going to take their time. 6 seconds separating shot and game clock. Abraham, lots of cushion outside of her range there. She'll set a screen from Matharu. And for Walker. Walker weaving her way through. She draws nimble, quick ball handlers for Baylor, causing.
And the 3rd personal going against Crooks. It's a big one.
That's going to be her 3rd. 10.3 seconds left. deficit for Jada Walker. See the ball in her hands most times. Second in the Big 12 in assisted turnover ratio. For someone who handles the ball so much, 2.7 in that category this season. Just remarkable. Knocks down the second.
Now Baylor is a veteran team.
Is there a technical called on the floor?
And it might be just hitting the ball after it gone through the net, if there's a warning.
Coach Collin had to collect herself after hearing that news. It is going to be on Abraham. She's nodding her head. And just a miscue there.
Well, I think maybe if you hit it, yeah, that's exactly. Like, this is very innocuous, but you can't touch the ball after it goes through the net. And so she didn't say anything. There was nothing unsportsmanlike about that in terms of a technical. But right before you head to the fourth quarter, you give a couple of free ones to Iowa State. But if you've been warned, you can't hit the ball when it goes through the net. It disrupts the timing of the offense, and especially against the pressure of Baylor. They want to set their defense. If you tap the ball away from the inbounder, you have an advantage.
2 free throws and the ball for Iowa State. Brown goes 1 for 2. You can tell from Collin not wanting to see those kinds of mistakes this late in the season, knowing that could be costly. But the score was different here. The passing lane is Walker. Jackson has her right on her hip. 5 seconds on the clock. She'll swing it to Brown, has time, takes the contact, and no finish there. We head to the final frame. Baylor in command, leading 58-39 here in Waco.
Points.
Vonleh has it. It's made her imprint on this game on the offensive and defensive side. That time she'll be shooting 2. That going on Crooks, and that is number 4 on her.
She says, I got it, I got it. She does not want to come off the floor, but we are at the very first possession of the fourth quarter, and she knows it. She's so smart, and she knows it. Vonleh did a good job just enticing her to try to go after the shot. And right now, Crooks is going to be allowed to play through the 4 personals.
That was a great catch, Elise. That her first reaction was to look over to the bench and communicate with them that I'm ready to go. She snares that rebound. And Iowa State will try to break out of what has been for quite some time a double-digit deficit, as many as 20 points they have trailed.
And the trust factor for your sophomore center with 4 personals down in this game, they need her. They have to have her in order to make a comeback. And so Coach Finley rolling the dice.
Rolling the dice too. That's number 4 on Vonleh now. She's going to be swiftly taken out of the game, and Abraham checking back in.
Well, and I think that's for a couple of reasons. One, you're ahead by 20 points or nearly there, and you've got depth behind, and Abraham's done a nice job when she's played.
Ryan had to make sure no one was standing around her. She drains that long 2, almost couldn't believe it.
Yeah. She's looking around, feeling there's not 1 or 2 or 3 defenders in my space, and knocks it down.
Hey, wait a second. What's the catch here? Eventually netting that long 2. Matharo cross-court pass. Jones had her hand on it, and now 10 to shoot with Andrews, who's so crafty as a ball handler. The fade doesn't go. Abraham tries to stick with it, but while they're on the reverse.
And Crooks, hands up, did not want to get it tangled up on the offensive rebound opportunity. Abraham had a wide open look, just rushed it.
And Abraham, we should point out on that last play, not a technical on her, it was a team technical because of a prior warning, but her with the miscue there, batting that ball down. Audie Crooks, the easy finish, and the playmaking outstanding there by Jones.
And 61 games in a row in double figures. It looked precarious at half. Crooks staying on the floor with the 4 personals and continuing that streak.
See, they're 4 in double figures for the Bears. They are used to that kind of play. 11 times they've had 5 above 10, and they're close to getting there. The player is down on the floor. And that is Ryan, or is it?
It's Jones.
It is Kelsey Jones, who was slow to get up.
Audie putting her hands up, calling for the basketball. She has rarely gotten an open look like that. And then Jones right there, the collision with Abraham, who was hunting for another offensive rebound. And boy, Kelsey Jones is looking really shaky. She's getting helped off the floor.
Hopefully we see her as quickly as possible. We're going to step aside here in Waco. Baylor with the lead here at Foster Pavilion. Five points per game, Coach Fenley said. Really was just a couple minutes stretch where things swung in our favor and we were able to hang on. So it has been a fiery series between these two teams in recent years, but Baylor has not relinquished command of this one at home.
And it has been due to that defense. They average 80 points a game, not on pace to hit that, but their defense has been stifling.
Brooks puts it on the floor. 10 seconds on the clock now. She wants it in the paint. Fantastic pass from the freshman Wilson leading her post.
And she took it to the side away from the defense, and it gave the necessary room for Crooks to just turn and score.
She works so much off of angle and position. All she had to do was lay it in right there after doing the work. 10 on the clock now. Matharo trying to shake Wilson, who's sticking with her. Fauntleroy taking Brown to the rim, and Crooks will corral it. Ryan was speeding to the front court now. She's going to call her own number. Not that time from three, but Brown powers it right into Abraham with the denial.
Abraham has given such good energy. The hands up and not fouling.
Brown can't get that to fall, and another rebound for Abraham, who has stepped up. Just 2 points today, 1 for 2, but 6 rebounds now.
Well, and she's been flying around defensively. She's had that matchup a lot with Crooks, and also was helped out for Brown, who is uncharacteristically from the floor, 2 for 10, and has not hit a 3 yet. And I love the game of Addie Brown, the 6'2 sophomore. Is one of the best power forwards in the nation, but today she has been stymied. They just have blanketed her.
Brooks 5 for 11, Brown 2 for 10. Not something you normally see with Iowa State and their two superstars. Felder sets herself and drains the 3. What a game for Yaya Felder off the bench, her 3rd triple today.
And not just high volume, high efficiency, 3 for 5. That time running a gorgeous play, got the screen she needed to be freed up.
Brooks had the positioning, lays it in.
It's one of the best spacing possessions we've seen. She had all kinds of room to work on the block.
Felder, 15 points, thought about 3 more. Fauntleroy barreling to the rim, count it!
The versatility of this Baylor offense. The screen here from Abraham, it frees up Felder from deep. The 9th made 3. But oh yeah, they can also put it on the deck and score through contact. It has been the versatility. Taking the contact and the smarts, you throw it up there. And it wasn't just lucky that she threw it up there. She saw the rim with her eyes and got that one to go.
She's played well with Little Paige Bugs, or without her in the game against Utah earlier this season. A new career high, 17 points, 10 rebounds. She's got to just try and bring that energy, rebounding, communicating defensively too, which is what we're missing as well. Here's Brown launching a 3, and it's been a tough day for Iowa State. 1 for 11 from beyond the arc. Andrews getting downhill, can't get the angle. Kelsey Jones calls for it, can't knock it down.
Good to see Jones back on the floor after that spill that she took. Had a good look, wouldn't go.
It's Iowa State basketball. Saw they're struggling to shoot overall and in this quarter as well. Especially from three-point range. We're at the midway point of the fourth quarter. A whistle away from the ball. That's going to go on Brown. An offensive foul.
Yeah, you can see the frustration. Hands go to the head. She is working hard. She's got the mismatch. And a good job of Walker just trying to work to get around. She didn't die on the position. She didn't get sealed, and it forces the offensive foul.
Elder guarded by Jones. Nelms from deep. Ripped down by Brown. The trailer is Brown, shuffled her feet. Afternoon for the Cyclones.
She's filling up that stat sheet. I know that the shot has not been there, but she's got 10 boards, 7 assists, just 3 turnovers. So one of the few Cyclones with that positive assist to turnover ratio.
8 points as well. Definitely on triple-double watch. She's been close multiple times. Vonleh with the hook shots, brought in by Crooks. Ryan is gonna back down Jennings, gets right to the rim, leaves it a little short. Little whistle. Fauntleroy coming in for Jennings. And last foul going on Jennings. That's number 4 on her. So Jennings with 4 and Vonleh with 4. Vonleh back on the floor. Jones seeing how she can get it into Crooks. Vonleh was right there to poke it away.
Well, I thought for sure that hit the baseline, but the deflection and another steal in favor of Baylor. That is their 9th steal in this game.
3-second violation. It's going to go on Vonleh. Back to Iowa State. Came into this matchup seeing the top 2 offenses in the Big 12. But Baylor has been able to keep the Cyclones in check. They're shooting just 1 of 12 from long range, 35% overall. You mentioned those 9 steals too against a potent offense. Well, whistle here from referee Michael McConnell.
Just I think it's a contact issue. Our officials seen that Brown needed a second, and so blowing the whistle right there. Yeah, just inadvertent. Fauntleroy just trying to get over the top of the screen and swipes right through the eye of Addie Brown. Who needs to see?
Still looks like she's struggling a bit there. That doesn't feel good ever. Vonleh has been able to defend those post-entry passes so terrifically today.
Another steal, now 10.
And Walker is going to slow things down. Look at the speed with that quick step. Can't drain the mid-range.
For Iowa State, you can't get this lead all back in one play. They have to continue to find good shots.
Ryan can't make them pay going underneath the screen. Felder is fouled, gobbling up that rebound. I mean, it's just minutes to play.
It has been a night where Iowa State can't find the hoop from deep. It is uncharacteristic. This is an excellent three-point shooting team. They are 1 of 13. One of their worst shooting performances, and they've gotten some open looks that haven't gone, but you give credit to the defense of Baylor. They have been flying around, and they have been so disruptive that they have sped up the Cyclones. Even when they feel like they're open, they haven't been able to collect themselves.
They haven't scored in 3 minutes and counting 4 turnovers in that stretch. And we've talked about it. Iowa State amongst the top offenses in the Big 12, 3rd against conference competition and three-point percentage. It's part of their identity, but absent today. Felder leaves it short. Still an outstanding afternoon, 15 points. That ball is kicked, keeping it right here with the Cyclones. An Iowa State team who also entered this game winning 4 straight contests and by a margin of over 18 points per game. Sydney Harris, we're playing our best basketball right now. Certainly deflating how things have gone here against Baylor.
Well, you're facing a team right now that is hot in Baylor, winners of 7 in a row, and feeling good despite not having Bugs, their leading scorer and rebounder. They have proven that their depth is real and playing on their home floor where they are so electric. It's been a big game. Iowa State still looking for that first win against a ranked team.
First quad 1 win as well. Our Autumn Johnson in her bracketology slotting in Iowa State as an 11 seed, a shaky ground that they're going to want to try and continue to get themselves out of. Kelsey Jones throws it up. She is fouled.
Strong take. You got to be aggressive here. You can't waste time looking for the best shot. You got to take a quick shot. Jones earning a couple free throws. We'll give Iowa State, if she can knock them in, a chance to extend the pressure defense.
4th personal on Sarah Andrews. That's 4 Bears. That's 4 personals along with Vonleh and Jennings as well. Riley Tanky will come in for Jackson. It has not been the common case to see players like Brown and Crooks not pour in massive points. If anything, it's been the opposite throughout the season, trying to get more support around those players. We have Williams, Ryan with 8 points, Crooks up to 14, 61 straight games in double figures. But balled up a lot of this game. Here's Felder. He's been feeling it in this one. Look at Walker skying for that rebound and fouled in the process. Tonight on Fox Primetime Hoops, freshman phenom and player of the year Cooper Flagg, who as a reminder turned 18 in December, leads 3rd-ranked Duke in a showdown at Madison Square Garden against Illinois. Coverage begins tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox. The Blue Devils this season leading the nation in scoring margin, an average of 20 points per game. Flagg leading the team points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Looking forward to that one later on. Under 2 minutes to play here in Waco. Vonleh checking out of this game. 11 points, 6 rebounds, and you can't say enough about her defense and the deflections. And she got poked with the pool noodle by little Paige Bugs.
I'm taking enough contact today. Leave me alone.
Being the hype woman on the bench, it seems like she's just been having a blast out there, seeing her team take such a commanding lead and try and close it out. There, Jones not able to convert the 3.
Well, and Iowa State is a team that can fill it up, and Baylor has just gone out and met them close enough to touch well beyond the 3-point range, and that pressure has done 2 things. They can't get a lot of clean looks off from 3, just 1 made 3 for Iowa State today. But they also have not had good vision to find Audie Crooks, who is a dominant force when she catches it in the lane. And I tell you, Nikki Collin is going to be absolutely thrilled with the way her team played defense today.
Getting closer and closer to extending their win streak to 8 games, which is already the longest in the Big 12. This stretch included a ranked win, a 10-point win over West Virginia in this stretch as well. Bella Fauntleroy said recently, just feel like when we step on the court, our synergy as a group shows up time and time again, and that's what we're leaning on to build this momentum this deep in the season. There was Andrew Drive. She's fouled.
I think you mentioned it, Sloan. When you're at the 18 spot in the net and you have a chance to finish your schedule and push up to get home court advantage, right now a 5 seed projected by Autumn Johnson, but you move up to that 4 line and you keep stacking victories and close this one out. It'll be their 8th consecutive win. And then they go to Kansas State, followed by the season finale at home against TCU. 2 teams that are both right there near the top 10 in the net. So 2 opportunities to really climb.
Playing for a top 16 seed to host, playing for potentially a Big 12 regular season championship for the first time since 2022. Who doesn't love late February basketball? I mean, March will get here. We treasure March. But this has been fun.
Well, they're already in playoff mode. Iowa State right now projected in that NCAA tournament. Kansas State as well, TCU. They're only going to see great teams for the rest of this year.
1 minute to play here at Foster Pavilion. Lily Towale new into the game for the first time is fouled. According to our Autumn Johnson, this is the seeding, how she's predicting it could play out when it comes to the Big 12. Arizona right on the cusp as a first 4 out. Iowa State still looking to make that tournament resume more robust. If you look at TCU as a 2 seed, Kansas State's one of the most veteran teams, and that's what's interesting, at least when we talk about the Big 12, and Nikki Collin has pointed this out too. Look at the teams at the top, the experience they have, how long they've been playing together. It's a little different story for Iowa State playing multiple sophomores and juniors.
Oh, they are young, and Bill Finley talked about they just keep running into these ranked teams with 5th-year seniors. There's some 6-year seniors, TCU with a 7th-year senior. So it is hard. This will be the final year of COVID eligibility, so the 5th and 6th-year seniors won't be as commonplace moving forward in college basketball.
Walker slippery to the rim, and picked up by Reagan Wilson. Now 2 seconds separating shot and game clock here in the closing minutes. Ripped down by Nelms. Top to bottom effort by the Baylor Bears, celebrating already their 8th straight victory. Fist pump from Walker. They know what a complete and solid win this was. 67-52, Baylor over Iowa State in a key late season victory.
Oh, Baylor brought it without their leading scorer and rebounder.